Let's go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy alike. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, Episode 9 is currently filming over in Jordan, and aside from that, they are also filming over in the UK, and after all of this, they plan on filming over in Italy, Ireland, and even California, so we'll get to that just a little bit later. But looking at Episode 9, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film as we go through principal photography that is set to end by February of 2019. We've been learning about some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. Now, a lot of people have been wondering exactly how will J.J. Abrams be able to implement prequel trilogy continuity that will be used in a way in order to tie all 9 movies in together into one big movie here. So looking at Episode 9, one of the descriptions goes over Rey inside of a hut made of stone very similar to the one on Occ 2. She wears black attire and is kneeling, going through what appears to be belongings to Luke Skywalker, one of which is a thick, brown, ancient journal described as the science of creating life. Another description has Rey's hand placed on one of the pages for a section that reads the philosophy of life, and the other section reads transcending death. Rey shuts the journal and takes it with her. So let me say one thing right here, right now, and why this is a huge connection to Darth Plagueis for Star Wars Episode 9, and it seems as so that Disney, Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, and even Chris Terrio are toying around with the idea of somehow embedding the character of Darth Plagueis in Episode 9. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Legends material, but in Legends there was a thing called the Science of Creating Life that was actually a journal by Darth Plagueis himself. So that is, of course, Legends material. It's no longer canon. I'm not quite sure if it ever was, if I'm not mistaken. But it is a part of Legends / the expanded universe of the Star Wars franchise. And it seems as so that Disney will be cherry-picking some elements of Darth Plagueis and putting that into Star Wars Episode 9. Now, the science of creating life, I don't know if you guys are too familiar with it, but I'm not really all that familiar with this, but it is very interesting for sure. One of which goes over the philosophy of life and transcending death. Now, why would this be stored in one of the huts of Occ 2 for the character of Luke Skywalker? How Rey's going through his belongings? Why would Rey even be back to the planet Occ 2? Now, this lines directly up with what we just heard a couple of days ago, that Disney is actually looking at filming over in Ireland for the final chapter of the Skywalker saga. Now, why else would we be going back to Ireland? It would pretty much be safe to say that we are going back to Occ 2, right? Similar to what Luke did in the original trilogy, where he went from Dagobah in The Empire Strikes Back, and then went back to Dagobah in Return of the Jedi, the training spot with Yoda. So, we could see a parallel in a sense in which Rey goes back to Occ 2, but not necessarily to find Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost or something like that, but maybe to learn more about Luke and what more she can learn about the Jedi way. Maybe she forgot something there. Maybe she thinks that there's more there on the island that she missed before she rushed to go ahead and face Kylo Ren and Supreme Leader Snoke. So, with that being said, why would Luke actually own this book, this journal called The Science of Creating Life? Well, if you guys actually do some research in Legends, and it seems as so that they are trying to do the same here in the Disney canon. In Legends, Luke Skywalker actually owns the journal. He actually owns this because Palpatine, after Darth Plagueis' death, Palpatine was able to retrieve this information and put it into the Book of Sith, which was like this red covered book that had all these different stories and philosophies of different Sith out there, including Darth Plagueis. Now, Sidious owned this for quite some time until eventually in the Legends of Star Wars, alright? Luke Skywalker comes across it and owns it and keeps it to himself. They could be doing the same exact thing here in Episode 9, where Luke Skywalker actually has been researching more about the Sith. This also lines directly up with one of the pieces of concept art that never made it to the final cut of The Last Jedi, in which you do see a Sith spirit in back of Luke. Very freaky stuff. In fact, if you look up Legends material for The Science of Creating Life by Darth Plagueis, one of these segments is actually called Sith Spirits. So there's a lot of things going here for this connection to Darth Plagueis in Episode 9, and I am just crossing my fingers that this makes it to the finalized version of the movie. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.